Welcome back, YouTube. It's still Tuesday, January 11th, 12:53 p.m. now. And yeah, sorry for the awkward ending of that video, but I totally realized that was actually, I was thinking I was just passing, just a random person on the bike path, through the old Crosscut Canal park there. When I'm walking past the break room. DJ'd this place off and on for so many years. Part of me wants to come back there, and then part of me, this place is, I still pop in there every now and then, but it is just gone. So it has just gone extremely, it's just gotten kind of shady in recent years. And I'm not just saying that because it's a black bar. I mean, hello, the bar that I work at is primarily a black bar, and break room, as long as I've been there, it's pretty much always been a black bar. But it's just, it's a different vibe kind of crowd than what it's always been. And I don't know, part of me still misses being there. Just a lot of nostalgia with that place for me. Anyway, back to the woman I just passed on, and I can't remember her name. Saved my damn life. The woman I just passed on the trail through the park, Greenbelt there. Yeah, I just honestly thought that was going to be one of those moments where I just casually say hi to somebody, swiftly. Like, yeah, weather's freaking nice today, and just, move out of there like immediate area and just proceed wherever I left off on this vlog, which I had something specific I was going to talk about, and I tell you, it wasn't how I package boxes with records in them, but or it wasn't going to be the break room either. I don't normally walk that direction, but I walked with her to the end of the path where it goes slightly west of 48th Street, and she's like on a kind of an energetic jog. She's headed west, so I just went ahead and cut directly south and took a shortcut through the break room parking lot to get back on 48th Street. Anyway, yeah, I had something I was really going to actually talk about on this walk. And hopefully I'll get to that, but just so random running into her. So I've been seeing that woman for years and years and years. I want to say I've known her for probably about 4 years. 3 years, somewhere between 3 and 4 years. She works at one of the Circle K's that's in the area that I generally work the late night shift, so I'm regularly seeing her there while she's working. And I had one time back when I was driving my Benz, I freaking ran out of gas like as I was pulling into the Circle K, and she came out and helped me push that. That car is heavy. Oh my Lord! Like, I've had my CRX, I can push that thing by myself. Pop it in neutral, push it. It doesn't really weigh much. And I've pushed the Saturn a couple of times. It doesn't weigh much either. It's a plastic car. But that Benz, holy crap, that thing is heavy. It is a difficult vehicle to push. And she came out, and it's not like that's in her job or anything, but she came out and helped me push my Benz up to the pump. And yeah, I mean, we had pretty good rapport before that, but we always kind of chat when I see her at the store. So first time I've seen her actually outside of that Circle K, so it's pretty cool seeing her on the walk. Anyway, and there's one of them Amazon vans I won't be driving, blocking the sidewalk. Blocking the sidewalk. Oh, well, thank you for backing up. At least that guy was self-aware enough to realize he was blocking the sidewalk. So Anyway, cool seeing her. Yeah, stop the thing so we could have a conversation, not just randomly cast out to the world. Anyway, good times. Good times. Always cool seeing her. That actually kind of made me wish I hung out with her more, to be honest. And anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, walking to the post office. Job interview at Amazon. You know, I really should have by now sat down and figured out the timing on the bus routes there. And admittedly, I haven't done that. Supposed to be there at 4:30, so I figure I got 4 hours to sort that out. Oh, 31, 32. Yeah, I got 4 hours to figure out how to get there. I expect it's going to be a long bus route, but I'm pretty confident I can sort it out in 4 hours. In fact, 4 hours gives me enough time to maybe take a bit of a creative way, or maybe, since I'm headed to the post office, also take a pit stop at my storage, touch base with the few people that have been messaging me regarding getting boxes that we just haven't been able to coordinate schedules, and maybe move a few things around before heading that way. Although I tell you, I'm so nervous about a repeat of what happened not last night, but the night before, Sunday night. Last night I finally finished uploading all my videos for Sunday night, and I do try to watch them. I don't always manage to watch all of them, but I did watch the one where I got off. Well, actually, I started shooting. I got off the 60 eastbound at 16th Street and Camelback, and it was supposed to be about a 10-minute wait, give or take, a little bit. So I think it was supposed to be less than a 10-minute wait, but about a 10-minute wait. And then there was, based on what I had looked at in the app and it's showing the schedules, a 10-minute wait until the 50 showed up. Now, where I made my mistake is I looked to see when the 50 was scheduled to show up. I didn't actually click that particular 50 to check its GPS tracking to see how far away it was. Because had I done that, I would have seen that the message that says there's no live GPS tracking for this vehicle. And then for some reason when it does that, it just zooms way out to where you can see the entire route, which is weird and awkward. But yeah, had I done that, I probably would have realized that, hey, that bus isn't coming. But as it was, I got there and then realized that I would have, after waiting around 10 minutes just to see if, hey, maybe it's just a bus that's not having its GPS working and it'll show up, at the time scheduled. Now, granted, I didn't sit there and wait to see if maybe it was going to show up, 5 minutes after the time scheduled. With the, the GPS wasn't working. I waited until about 2 minutes after the scheduled time and was like, yeah, this is happening again. Because that happens a lot, where a bus is scheduled and it's just simply not running. And when you're talking about bus routes that only run every half hour, which to me, a half hour seems like an obscenely long time to wait for a bus, that turns it into an hour, which is just ridiculous. Especially when you consider how far you can, unless you're caught in rush hour traffic and you're not smart enough to avoid it, you can pretty much drive from anywhere in Phoenix. I want to clarify this because I kind of got in an argument with somebody about this online, and he did have a valid point. But the guy was talking about driving from Deer Valley to Chandler. The fuck you driving from Deer Valley to Chandler? Like, why are you doing that? That's just dumb. Anyway, he's like, yeah, it does take more than an hour to drive from Deer Valley to Chandler. It's also a really, really, really long drive from Deer Valley to Chandler. So what the fuck you expect? Anyway, but yeah, you can pretty much drive from any point in Phoenix to Actually, I'm not really staying that well because Deer Valley is technically Phoenix. But anyway, you can drive most anywhere in the valley. Let me phrase it like that. Most anywhere in the valley, as long as you're not going from one extremity on a far end to another extremity on another far end. Drive pretty much anywhere in Phoenix in an hour. So with that in mind, being stuck at a street corner waiting for a bus transfer for an hour when you've already done some waiting for your first bus and or maybe even your second bus, or maybe have another transfer going down, and you've got looks like a good place to cross the freeway, or I mean cross 48th Street under the shade of the freeway. This is kind of nice, and it's unusually clean under here today. So yeah, when you've already done like so much slow riding and waiting already, and maybe have another transfer ahead, being stuck for an hour for a transfer just sucks, and it just seems inexcusable to me, but it happens. So on that note, yeah, as much as I'd like to make the most of my time and spend some time at my storage and try to get some stuff done, and just I know I can't rely on that bus schedule to get me to that interview on time. There's because I'm doing a transfer. From what I've looked at the schedule, the best route I'm going to have coming from this post office to the Amazon facility where I'm having the interview, I'm assuming it's an Amazon facility. I did see a place where they were doing that one hiring thing that I went to that ended up being a total clusterfuck and ended up being for HelloFresh. That was actually not an Amazon facility. It was a facility for some kind of a recruiting company that was doing contract work with Amazon. And that might be the kind of place I'm going to right now. I don't know. But anyway, regardless, where the interview is that I'm going in, which also involves a drug test, which is fine. I'm no reason to not pass a drug test right now. And them looking over, filling out forms and stuff. It's located near 67th Avenue and Buckeye. So my best route from the post office is going to be to take the Route 3 eastbound all the way from 48th Street to 67th Avenue, and then catch 67 southbound. I did check 67th Avenue, Route 67 on 67th Avenue only runs every half hour. So, yeah, that's the potential for getting there, waiting 25 minutes for my bus that's going to get me there on time, and then after 25 minutes that bus straight up doesn't show up because it's not running. Yeah, not worth the risk. So I think my plan is actually going to be to just get to that intersection, and once I'm there, explore the neighborhood, see if I can find me a dive bar nearby. Yeah, that's probably my best plan of action, because I really need to not miss this interview. I need some cash flow, bad, real bad, and also I'm not sure what all is involved. I didn't see exactly what is involved in getting the $3,000 signing bonus, but $3,000 would totally change my life right now. So damn, I'm almost to the post office, and thinking I should get to what I was going to talk about, but now I don't even know that I have the time to do it. So somebody who I have no idea who they are, never seen their username on YouTube before, and I didn't, look at their channel or look at their subs to even try to get a feel of what that person's background was or what they're into. But a person commented on my channel on a video from, the comment was yesterday, actually last night, from a video from the day before, or of the day before. I think it's a video I just barely posted, but it was footage from the day before. And I get the feeling this person hasn't watched too many of my videos or been watching my videos for very long, because he asked what was wrong with my car. And what is wrong with my car, for those who don't know, since I don't try not to repeat things over and over from video to video, even though I do constantly, it's got a blown engine. Now, my mechanic told me that I had completely run the oil out of it, and completely run the coolant out of it, and overheated it and blew it because of that. Which means that prior to blowing the engine, the old, and this is irrelevant now, other than it explains why it led up to that. Maybe about 2 or 3 days before that happened, I had checked the oil, and it was a little lower than it should have been, and I added about 1.5 quarts, completely topped it off. So it had lost all that oil within 2, maybe 3 days. So obviously there was a severe problem with a leak. It definitely wasn't burning oil. I would have smelled that. I would have been aware of that. So there's a leak in it somewhere, or it had just started leaking it. I hadn't noticed an oil puddle in my parking spot, so that's an issue. And the other issue is that I do tend to keep an eye on my temperature gauge. Temperature gauge never went up, so that's also telling me that the temperature gauge wasn't working. Now, granted, I hadn't checked my coolant in a while, but had my temperature gauge been climbing up, I would have definitely been checking my coolant. So anyway, it is what it is. The car has a blown engine, and so the person just asked, hey, what's wrong with your car? Blown engine. And he proceeded to tell me, well, you're just better off to buy another car, as you can find a car for like under $2,000. And this is where it's readily apparent that this guy hasn't been watching my vlogs, because missed the saga from last week, where I had to count quarters and then find somebody that would give me paper dollars for my quarters so that I could deposit $2 in my checking account to bring my $18 and change balance up to a $20 and change balance. That way I could withdraw $20 to stop my other checking account from getting overdrawn and getting hit with a $35 overdraft fee. So in light of that, it'd be great. That'd be great to have a couple grand just sitting around to buy another car. But if I had that, do you think I would be doing all this walking? Come on now, use your brain. All right, that said, it might have stemmed from the thing I'm putting in all my video descriptions, where I'm asking, and I hate to be an e-beggar, but which is why I hardly ever mention it, but it is in the descriptions, cops and paste in all the descriptions. Wow, they've cleaned this bus stop up nice. And that guy in the ad is probably going to be the thumbnail for this video. I don't know what it is with the algorithm, but if I walk by an ad for that stupid attorney, it always ends up being the thumbnail. Anyway, sorry, just get tired of seeing that guy's goofy face as a thumbnail for like 3 videos a week. Anyway, there's no money to buy another car, and it's a little bit more. So anyway, he got that from, probably might have been motivated to ask that. I didn't even listen to the whole video that he was commenting on to see, what I had said regarding my car and that. But obviously I'm walking. But I've got a thing I'm posting in all the video descriptions where I'm asking for, hey, if you're in a position to help me out, please do. I've got a Venmo. It's at Dan the Taxi Man, all one word, all lowercase. And because money to fix my car would be life-changing right now, and it would be. Hey, if you want to donate me enough money to buy another car, or if you want to give me another car, that's awesome. I wouldn't say no to another car. In fact, I've said several times that, it would be really nice if I had somebody in my life that had an extra vehicle and was concerned enough about my well-being to just let me use that vehicle until my car gets fixed. As far as fixing my car versus buying another car, I have a pretty special arrangement with my mechanic that, for the most part, has always worked out really well for both of us. This is the longest in a long time that he's left me high and dry without a vehicle. While supposedly, hey, I'll get it done soon. But generally speaking, if I've got repairs, particularly expensive repairs, I throw him a little bit of cash down at the beginning of the issue. Generally enough to cover the part so he can get started on it. And then once he's done, I pay him back as quick as I can for what I owe him for the labor. The motor for my Saturn has already been bought and paid for. So, yeah, it would be really silly at this point for me to buy another car. Just throwing that out there. I was going to go into a little bit more detail on this, but I'm at the post office. I'm going to wrap this up. But thanks for coming with me on the walk. And as always, I hope you learned something.